You ever watch a crowd from the sidelines? People, heads down, eyes locked on a path they didn't choose for themselves. Sheep. They rush, they stumble, they scream for answers, but they never stop to think if the question was worth asking. It's chaos. Beautiful chaos. But you're not one of them, are you? No. You're different. You feel it too, don't you? That itch under your skin that whispers, don't follow the herd. But here's the problem. You hesitate. You think too much. Worry. Too much. What will they think? What if I fail? Let me tell you something, kid. While they're out there running blind, chasing things they don't understand, you've got a chance to do something they'll never even dream of. You can build your victory, piece by piece, in the silence they're too afraid to face. You see, the world loves noise. It craves it. The louder you are, the more they think you matter. But noise doesn't build anything. Noise is the distraction they use to drown out their own fears. You've seen it. The guy at the top of the hill screaming about his success. He's just as scared as the rest of them. Scared that one day someone like you, someone patient, someone smart, will come along and take it all away. You know why they're scared of silence? Because silence is where the truth lives. It's where you face yourself, your weaknesses, your fears. Most people would rather run into a burning building than sit alone with their thoughts. But you're not most people. You've tasted that silence, and you've felt the power in it. Think of the hunter. He doesn't chase the deer like an idiot, crashing through the trees. No, he waits, he watches, he lets the prey come to him. And when the time is right, one clean shot, over, efficient, ruthless. That's what you're doing, isn't it? You're waiting, watching. While they waste their energy on things that don't matter, you're sharpening your mind, your skills, your weapons. Let them laugh at you now. Let them call you lazy, a failure. Because when the time comes, they won't even see you coming. You want to know what victory looks like? It's not the flashy cars or the big house. That's just the mask they wear to hide their emptiness. Real victory is when you stand tall, knowing every inch of your success was earned. When the people who doubted you can't even look you in the eye because they know they were wrong. And it's not about proving them wrong, kid. It's about proving yourself right. Every dark night you spent alone, every moment you doubted if it was worth it, that's the fuel. That's what makes you unstoppable. You ever seen a storm roll in? The way the sky darkens, the way the wind picks up. People run, they hide, they panic. But the storm doesn't care. It moves with purpose, destroys what it needs to, and leaves everything else stronger. That's you. You're the storm. They just don't know it yet. But don't rush it. That's their mistake. They want it all now. Instant success. instant happiness. They don't realize that the best things take time. A tree doesn't grow overnight. It takes years of roots, digging deep, of branches, reaching higher. And when the storm comes, the tree that rushed its growth is the first to fall. You've got to be patient. Patient like the stone that wears down the river. Patient like the wolf waiting for the perfect moment to strike. And most importantly, you've got to be ruthless. Not with them, with yourself. Cut out the excuses, the doubts, the fears. They're dead weight, dragging you down. And here's the thing, while you're doing all this, they're going to hate you for it. They'll call you names, try to pull you back down to their level. Why? Because your silence reminds them of their noise. Your patience shows them their desperation. Your calm makes their chaos unbearable. But you don't stop. Not for them, not for anyone. Because this isn't about them. It's about you. It's about the legacy you're building, the life you're crafting. You think greatness comes easy? No. It's forged in the fire of failure, of pain, of doubt. Every scar you carry is proof that you survived, proof that you're still here, still fighting. Wear those scars like armor, because they're what make you invincible. And when the day comes, oh, it will come, when you stand on the mountain you've built with your own two hands. They'll look up at you and wonder how you did it. They'll scramble, they'll panic, trying to figure out your secret. But it's too late for them. You see, while they were busy rushing blindly, you were calmly crafting your victory. Are you going to let their noise drown you out? Or are you going to embrace the silence, embrace the struggle, and build something they can't tear down? The choice is yours. But remember this, the storm doesn't ask for permission to destroy, and neither should you. You know, kid, the funny thing about life is how predictable people are. They follow the same script over and over. They're told what to want, how to act, who to be. They never stop to think if the script makes sense. And you've been handed that same script, haven't you? Go to school, get a job, buy a house, retire, die. But let me ask you something. What happens if you burn the script? What happens if you write your own story? One so unpredictable, so unrelenting, that they can't help but watch. That's the kind of life you're meant to live. One where you set the rules. See, while they're out there running from failure, you've got to run straight toward it. Yeah, failure. That thing everyone's so afraid of. But here's the secret. Failure isn't your enemy. It's your greatest ally. Every time you fail, you learn, you grow, you get stronger. And every time they fail, they run, they give up, they crawl back into the shadows, too scared to try again. Let me tell you a little story. There was this guy, right? Smart, ambitious, full of ideas. But every time he tried something, He failed. Over and over again. People laughed at him. They called him a loser, told him he'd never amount to anything. Sound familiar? But this guy, he didn't quit. He took every failure like it was a badge of honor. Every laugh, every insult, every setback, it all fueled him. And one day, when the rest of the world wasn't looking, he won. Big. And the same people who mocked him, they couldn't even look him in the eye anymore. You want to know who that guy was? It doesn't matter. It could be anyone. It could be you. Because the truth is, the people who win in life are the ones who aren't afraid to lose. Failure doesn't define you. How you respond to it does. So the next time you fall, and you will fall, don't stay down. Get up. Laugh at the pain. Look it in the eye and say, "Is that all you've got?" Here's another truth they don't want you to know. The people who doubt you, the ones who try to hold you back, they're not really worried about you failing. No. They're scared you'll succeed. Think about it. If you rise above, if you break free from the mold, what does that say about them? It forces them to confront their own failures, their own mediocrity, and people hate that. They'd rather drag you down than admit they've been living a lie. Let them doubt you. Let them mock you. Their words mean nothing. Nothing. You don't need their approval. You don't need their permission. All you need is that fire inside you, the one they can't see, can't touch, can't put out. And when you succeed, and you will, they'll come crawling back. Oh, they'll pretend they believed in you all along. They'll act like they always knew you'd make it. But you'll know the truth. You'll remember every insult, every laugh, every time they said you couldn't do it. And it'll make the victory that much sweeter. You've heard the saying, actions speak louder than words, right? Well, here's the thing. They were lying. Actions don't just speak louder. They drown out the noise entirely. While they're busy talking, bragging, making promises they can't keep, you're out there working. Quietly, relentlessly. They think silence is weakness, but it's not. Silence is deadly. It's the calm before the storm, the pause before the strike. Picture this. A lion doesn't roar before it attacks. It moves silently, carefully, calculating every step. And when it strikes, it's over in an instant. That's how you need to move. Don't announce your plans. Don't waste your energy trying to prove yourself to people who don't matter. Just let your actions do the talking. And when the time comes, when you've built something so powerful they can't ignore it, that's when they'll understand. By then, it'll be too late for them to stop you. Now let's talk about that darkness you carry. Oh, I see it in your eyes. The pain, the anger, the frustration. You've been told to bury it, to hide it, to pretend it's not there. But why? Why would you deny the very thing that's been keeping you alive? That darkness isn't your enemy, it's your ally. It's what sets you apart, what gives you strength. While they're busy chasing happiness, you've learned to thrive in the shadows. You've learned to find beauty in the pain, to turn your struggles into fuel. Don't be afraid of the darkness. Embrace it. Let it guide you, shape you, push you forward, because here's the truth. They'll never understand it. They'll never understand you. And that's okay. You don't need their understanding. You don't need their acceptance. You just need to keep moving forward one step at a time. And when the day comes, oh, it will come. When you've built something so strong, so unbreakable, they'll have no choice but to notice. They'll look at you, standing tall, and wonder how you did it. They'll scramble to figure out your secret, to replicate your success. But they'll never get it. Because while they were busy rushing blindly, you were calmly crafting your victory. While they were chasing distractions, you were focused on your mission. While they were falling apart, you were building yourself into something unstoppable. Let them rush. Let them panic. Let them waste their energy on things that don't matter. You don't need to follow their path. You're not like them. You're better. Remember this. The storm doesn't ask for permission to destroy, and neither should you. You know, most people think they're alive because they're breathing, but you and I, we know better. Life isn't just about drawing air into your lungs. It's about what you do with that breath. And the truth, most people waste it. They waste it on excuses, on fear, on waiting for someone else to give them permission to live. But not you. I can see it in your eyes. You're still holding back, sure, but deep down, you've got that fire, that itch to break free, to do something they can't ignore. And let me tell you, if you don't act on it, if you let it die, you'll regret it for the rest of your life. Because here's the thing, the world isn't going to wait for you. It's not going to stop spinning because you're scared or tired or unsure. No, it's going to keep moving, with or without you. And if you don't start moving with it, you'll be left behind. That's the worst part, isn't it? The thought that one day you'll be gone and the world won't even notice. No one will remember your name, your face, your story. You'll just be another forgotten soul lost in the noise of history. But what if I told you that doesn't have to be your fate? What if I told you that you could leave a mark so deep, so undeniable that they'd still be talking about you long after you're gone? That's what this is about. Legacy. Not the kind they put on plaques or carve into marble. I'm talking about the kind of legacy that lives in people's minds, the kind that makes them stop and say, that one changed everything. But to get there, you've got to let go of the fear. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of being alone. Because fear, it's a cage. And the longer you let it control you, the smaller that cage gets. Until one day, there's no room left to move, no room left to breathe. Now, let's talk about the pain. Oh, I know it's there. You've been carrying it for a long time, haven't you? The betrayal, the disappointment, the heartbreak. It sits there in your chest like a weight you can't shake. But here's the thing they don't tell you about pain. It's not your enemy. It's your greatest gift. Because pain reminds you that you're alive. It sharpens you, focuses you, drives you. Think about it. A blade isn't strong when it's first forged. It has to be hammered, shaped, tempered by fire. That's what pain does to you. It hammers you into something stronger, sharper, something they can't break. But only if you let it, only if you stop running from it and start using it, because the people who rise, the people who matter, they're the ones who take their pain and turn it into power. And then there's the noise. Oh, the noise, the voices of the crowd shouting at you from every direction, telling you who you should be, what you should do, how you should live. They're loud, aren't they? Deafening. And the worst part? Most of them don't even know what they're talking about. They're just repeating what they've been told, passing on their fears, their doubts, their limitations. You've got to learn to block them out, because the truth is they don't want you to succeed. Not really. Your success is a threat to them, a reminder of everything they've failed to do. So they'll try to hold you back, to keep you small, to make you believe that you're not enough. But you are. Oh, you are. You just haven't shown them yet. You know what separates the great from the forgotten? Patience. While the rest of the world is rushing around, chasing quick wins and instant gratification, the great ones are playing the long game. Think of a sculptor staring at a block of marble. Everyone else sees a rock, but the sculptor, they see the masterpiece hiding inside, and they're willing to spend years chipping away, piece by piece, until that masterpiece is revealed. And that's what you're doing. Every step you take, every move you make, it's shaping your masterpiece. And when it's done, when they finally see what you've built, they'll be in awe. But until then, you've got to keep going. Keep chipping away. No matter how long it takes, no matter how many times you want to give up, because the end result, it's worth it. And let's not forget about the doubt. Oh, they'll doubt you. They'll tell you you're wasting your time, that you'll never make it, that you're dreaming too big. Let them. Every word they speak is fuel. Every laugh, every sneer, every insult, it's all energy you can use. Because one day, when you've built your empire, when you've proven them all wrong, their doubt will be the foundation you stand on. And trust me, there's nothing sweeter than looking into the eyes of someone who said you couldn't do it and watching them choke on their words. Now, here's the part where most people fail. They get close to the end, close to their goal, and they hesitate. They start second guessing themselves, wondering if they're really ready, if they've really earned it. Don't be one of them. When the time comes, when the moment is right, you strike hard, fast, without hesitation. Because hesitation, it's what gets you killed. Think of the predator stalking its prey. It doesn't wait for permission. It doesn't doubt itself. It knows when the time is right, and it acts. That's what you need to do. Be the predator, be the storm, be the force they can't stop, the one they never saw coming. Let them rush blindly, chasing things that don't matter. Let them waste their energy trying to keep up with a race they'll never win. Because while they're running in circles, you're crafting your victory, piece by piece, step by step. And when it's done, when you finally stand at the top of the mountain you built, they'll look up at you in awe, and you'll smile, because you'll know that while they rushed blindly, you were calm, deliberate, unstoppable. You see, the real enemy isn't out there, kid. It's not the people who doubt you, the ones who betray you, or the system that's rigged against you. No, the real enemy is in here. It's the voice in your head telling you that you're not enough. That's the one you've got to kill. Because here's the truth. They can't stop you. Not really. They can throw obstacles in your way, sure. They can lie, cheat, sabotage, but at the end of the day, the only person who can stop you is you. Think about it. Every time you hesitated, every time you gave up, every time you chose comfort over growth, it wasn't them, it was you. And that's okay, because now you know, and knowing is power. Let me tell you a secret about this world. The ones who win, the ones who rise above, they're not the smartest or the strongest. No, they're the ones who master their own minds. Most people, they're slaves to their thoughts. Fear, doubt, anger. They let those things control them, define them. But you've got the power to break free, to take control, to turn your mind into your greatest weapon. Picture this, a sculptor staring at a block of stone. To everyone else, it's just a rock. But to the sculptor, it's potential. And with every strike of the chisel, with every careful cut, they shape it into something extraordinary. That's what you've got to do with your mind. Chip away at the fear, the doubt, the noise. Carve out the strength, the focus, the clarity. Because once you master your mind, there's nothing you can't do. Let's talk about failure. Oh, they love to throw that word around, don't they? You failed. You're a failure. They use it like it's a weapon, like it's the end of the story. But you and I, we know better. Failure isn't the end, it's the beginning. Every time you fail, you're one step closer to figuring it out. One step closer to success. The only people who don't fail are the ones who don't try. And they're the real failures. Think of every great mind, every legend you've ever admired. You think they just woke up one day and succeeded? No, they failed. over and over again. But they didn't stop. They didn't let it break them. They let it shape them. So the next time you fail, don't cry about it. Don't run from it. Look it in the eye and say, thank you. Thank it for the lesson, for the opportunity to grow, and then get back to work. Now here's the part that gets under their skin. While you're out there working, grinding, building, they're watching you. Oh, they might not say it, but they are. They're waiting for you to slip up, to prove them right. But here's the funny thing. They're not really watching to see you fail. Deep down, they're watching to see if you'll succeed. Because if you do, it shatters everything they believe about themselves. It forces them to confront their own mediocrity, their own fear, their own laziness. So let them watch. Let them talk. While they're wasting their energy on you, you're channeling all of yours into your mission. And when the time comes, when you finally unveil what you've been building, they won't be able to look away. You ever notice how a shadow grows longer as the sun sets? That's you. Right now, you're working in the dark, unnoticed, underestimated. But every move you make, every step you take, casts a shadow. And as you grow, as you rise, that shadow will stretch across everything they thought they knew. They won't understand it at first. They'll dismiss you, ignore you, laugh at you. But shadows have a way of creeping up on people, don't they? Before they know it, you'll be standing over them, towering above, a force they can't deny. But here's the trick. Don't let them see it coming. Let them stay comfortable in their ignorance. Let them think you're harmless, unimportant, because when you finally step into the light, the impact will be all the greater. There's power in silence, kid, in waiting, in letting them make the first move while you prepare for the last. Think of the storm. It doesn't announce itself with a roar. No, it starts with a whisper, a faint wind, a darkening sky. And then, when the moment is right, it strikes with a force that leaves nothing standing. That's you. The storm. The force they can't predict, can't control, can't stop. But to be the storm, you've got to embrace the silence. Use it to focus, to plan, to build. While they're out there making noise, screaming for attention, you're in the shadows, crafting your masterpiece. Now, here's the part no one likes to talk about. The cost. Because greatness, it's not free. It demands everything you've got. You'll lose people, friends, family, allies. They won't understand your vision. They'll try to pull you back, to make you small, to keep you where they're comfortable. And when you refuse, they'll turn on you. It'll hurt. Oh, it'll hurt. But you've got to remember, it's not personal. It's fear. Fear of being left behind. Fear of being forgotten. Fear of watching you become something they can never be. But you can't let their fear stop you. You've got to keep moving forward, even if it means walking alone. Because in the end, the only thing worse than losing them is losing yourself. So what's it going to be, kid? Are you going to let their doubts, their fears, their noise keep you small? Or are you going to rise? Because the truth is, while they're rushing blindly, chasing things that don't matter, you've got the power to build something real, something unbreakable. But it's up to you. No one's going to do it for you. No one's going to hand you the keys to the kingdom. You've got to take them. Embrace the silence. Embrace the pain. Embrace the darkness. And when the time comes, unleash the storm they never saw coming. You ever wonder why they're so loud? Why they're always screaming for attention? For validation? It's because they're afraid. Afraid that if they stop making noise, the world will forget they exist. Afraid that if they stop running, they'll have to face themselves. But you and me, we don't fear the silence. We don't need the noise. Because in the silence, we find clarity. We find power. Look at them, rushing blindly from one distraction to the next, chasing every shiny thing that catches their eye. They think movement is progress, that speed is success. But you and I know the truth. Speed kills. It blinds them to the obstacles, the traps, the cliffs they're sprinting toward. And you're not running. You're watching, learning, building. While they're busy burning themselves out, you're preparing for the moment that matters. Let's talk about expectations. Oh, they love to pile those on you, don't they? Parents, teachers, friends, society. They all have their little checklist of what your life should look like. Get a degree, get a job, get married, retire, die. But let me ask you something. Whose life are you living? Theirs or yours? You see, expectations are chains. They bind you to a path you didn't choose, a path that doesn't lead to greatness. And the worst part? Most people don't even realize they're wearing them. They march along, dragging those chains behind them, thinking it's just the weight of life, but not you. You've started to see the truth, haven't you? You've felt the weight of those chains, and you've started to wonder what life would be like without them. Here's the thing, though. You don't just break free. Freedom comes at a cost. It means disappointing people. It means making them uncomfortable. It means being misunderstood, judged, and sometimes even hated. Are you ready for that? Are you ready to trade their approval for your freedom? Because that's the price. And then there's the pain. Oh, you felt it? The sting of failure, the ache of loneliness, The weight of carrying your dreams while the world tells you to put them down. It's heavy, isn't it? Sometimes it feels like it's too much, like you can't take another step. But let me tell you something about that pain. It's a gift. You see, growth doesn't come from comfort. It doesn't come from safety or ease. It comes from pain, from struggle, from pushing yourself to the edge and then taking one more step. Think of a diamond. Do you know how it's made? Pressure, heat, intense, unrelenting force. That's what it takes to turn a lump of coal into something unbreakable. And you? You're in the fire right now. You're under the pressure. But if you can endure it, if you can embrace it, you'll come out the other side as something they can't break. Now let's clear up one of the biggest lies they've ever told you. Life is fair. Fair? No, kid. Life isn't fair. It's brutal. It's chaotic. It's a battlefield where the strong survive and the weak get trampled. And if you're waiting for fairness, you're going to be waiting a long time. But here's the good news. You don't need fair. You don't need life to hand you anything, because you've got something they don't. You've got the grit, the hunger, the drive to take what's yours. So stop waiting for life to give you a break. Stop waiting for someone to open a door for you. Kick it down. Take what you deserve. And if they try to stop you, let them try. Here's the part no one likes to talk about, the loneliness. You see, when you choose this path, when you choose to rise above, to break free, to build something extraordinary, you're going to lose people. Friends, family, allies. They're not going to understand. They'll tell you you've changed, that you've forgotten who you are. They'll try to pull you back, to make you small, to keep you where they're comfortable. And when you refuse, they'll turn on you. It's gonna hurt. Oh, it'll cut deep. But you've got to remember, this isn't about them. It's about you. It's about your dreams, your mission, your legacy. And here's the thing. The ones who leave, they were never meant to stay. Patience. Oh, it's a dirty word to most people. They want everything now. Instant success, instant happiness, instant results. But you've got to play the long game. Think of the farmer. He doesn't plant a seed and expect a harvest the next day. No, he waits. He nurtures. He endures the storms, the droughts, the setbacks. And when the time is right, he reaps a reward that's worth every moment of struggle. That's what you're doing. Every step you take, every move you make, it's planting a seed. And one day, when the time is right, you'll reap a harvest so great they won't believe it was possible. But until then, you've got to keep working, keep building, keep believing, and then, when the time comes, you strike. Not out of desperation, but out of strength. Not because you have to, but because you choose to. Picture a storm rolling across the horizon. It doesn't rush. It doesn't panic. It moves with purpose, with power. And when it arrives, it leaves nothing standing. That's you, the storm, the force they didn't see coming. Because if you are, there's nothing they can do to stop you. They'll rush blindly, chasing things that don't matter. But you'll be calm, deliberate, unstoppable. And when the dust settles, when the chaos fades, you'll be the one left standing.